only got one thing to review. That is Secret Invasion Episode 2.
Yeah.
All right. I did not watch this because I forgot it came out. So I watched the first episode. When does these episodes drop, on Thursday or Wednesday? Wednesdays. Yeah, I think I watched episode 1 on Tuesday. And then I forgot to go back to it.
Dang.
So yeah.
So you watch all 3 this Wednesday.
Hey.
I could.
Yeah.
No, what's Wednesday? Tuesday is the 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday the 4th.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll get all my Rocky Marathon shit out on Tuesday. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's what you're doing on 4th of July?
That's what every 4th of July, I watch the Rocky Marathon, I eat glizzies, and I just relax.
Oh.
Nigga, you don't eat hot dogs on fucking 4th of July?
I know, but you can't say glizzy. That should just sound nasty.
We call them now.
Glizzy. Nah, I ain't calling that shit a glizzy, nigga. Glizzy.
I eat hot dogs.
All right. Yeah, dogs.
Hot dogs, hamburgers, hot links, all that cool shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is on y'all Secret Invasion Episode 2. What happened?
Yeah. So they fast forward, did some de-aging on Samuel Jackson, and found a little bit of the backstory of Gravik. Come to find out, he's like the remnants of the Kree War, and he escaped the home planet?
I don't know if he was on a home planet per se, but so it flashed back to like 1997, I think it is. Yeah. I think Captain Marvel took place in 95, I think. So it's 2 years after that, I think. Don't quote me. Anyway, they flashed back to 97, and one of the women Skrull was saying that his parents were murdered in the war, and he escaped by like piloting a ship by himself. Like basically, so smart and capable.
Yeah.
So that's what they're explaining. Because I guess part of what Fury has done or was doing was like, hey, Skrulls could be anyone at any time. So I think he was like using them as like a spy network. So he was like, hey, you guys are on this planet. So as long as you're here, if you help me out, I'll help you out and find a planet.
Yeah. And
that was in 1997.
Yeah.
And it's 2023 or 24 or whatever year this supposed to take place, and they still haven't found them a planet. What Gravik's gripe is and why he's starting shit. He's like, well, he never found us a planet, so we're gonna make Earth our planet now. Yeah. And his plan, and that's why they were using all those terrorist cells in the first episode, or just in general, to create panic and war amongst the humans and the different nations, and obviously to like cause a confusion and start a war. So that because I guess maybe the overall goal is going to probably be for them to set off nuclear war. I'm assuming.
I was about to say, this probably is most likely, which this sounds like, is a tie-in to Captain America. Well, New World Order, but they changed it to Brave New World. Like they changed it to that because I guess it was too drastic to say New World Order. But it would have been perfectly lined up to what's happening in this, in the end game of what's going to happen with this. I
believe so. Yeah. Because you're correct. Because I think in that, I think Harrison Ford is supposed to show up as Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh shit!
And Thunderbolt Ross is supposed to be the president of the United States now. I think so. But currently a president, so I think he's a Skrull. And
the president?
I think he might be a Skrull right now, and I think he might get found out, and at the end of it, and then I think that's going to make room for Ross to take over. I think we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This picked off right at the end of the first episode where the Russians were going around rounding up whoever was involved. So Nick Fury's there, Homegirl's dead, and there's this yeah.
She dead or dead?
She dead. No, she dead.
Maria, I don't know. I'm gonna hold off. I know we saw her with her eyes.
If you die with your eyes open, that means you out of there. You out of there.
The nigga,
nah, she was leaking though.
But that's the whole point of the show is you don't know what to believe. So I'm gonna just wait and see because Nick Fury died of budget ties, and then it's like, it's like nigga, I'm gonna be alive.
We ain't know what his eyes open do. But I understand.
I'm just saying. I think she dead, but we gonna see.
Yeah.
So is Maria vital?
Like yeah, she was. She was like the right hand. Basically.
Yeah, she was. Nick Fury was busy, pretty much.
Yeah.
Is she like Ross vital or like just vital?
She was there. Anytime I seen Nick Fury, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
She was in close proximity for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was right hand man.
Mm-hmm.
Like he ran everything through her and like did everything with her. And then she even kind of mentioned that in the first episode, and she was like, "Hey, you usually got a plan. It seems like you got a plan. You seem to have lost a step." And then obviously she got banged up. But
yeah. So the Russians was rounding up whoever was a part of the you can call it a coup, and it's this American. It's like just being radical as fuck, and then they get him. Come to find out, he's a fucking scroll. Nick Fury gets picked up, but it's really Talos that throw him in a van, and they end up being on the train. And this scene was so funny to me because Nick Fury was asking Talos. He was like, "Tell me something I don't know about the scrolls." And then he said, "Well, like we was on the home planet with the Kree. We got in a war, and then now we end up here." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna ask you again. Tell me what I don't know about the scrolls." So come to find out, what happened was when Nick Fury got blipped out of the way, what Talos did was bring all the Kree, millions of them, to Earth and didn't tell this nigga.
Well, he wasn't telling me he was blipped.
I know, but when he came back, he still didn't tell him. So this nigga, Nick Fury, started spazzing.
He ran off. He ran off the Saber or whatever. He was on the ship. He's like, you disappeared, and even when you came back, he wasn't even here. So like, even if he wanted to tell him, he wasn't as available as he would have been. But yeah, so I guess
to be fair, before I lose this point, to be fair, Talos wasn't wrong because this mad niggas gone. So him bringing him here, I don't think he expected everybody to come back in one fucking swoop.
Well, I mean, it was a 5-year period. It was 5 years. The blood 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah. So while Fury was blipped out, we got all these Skrull on the planet.
Yeah, like he was like Nick Fury was like, no. Talos was like, I mean, maybe we can all get along on this planet. He's like, no, like we can't even get along with ourselves.
So we're not gonna get along with an invading species.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Not wrong.
Shit,
like, nigga, not wrong.
Crazy fight. And I think that's a little like hint. That is a little hint at. I don't know if it's like, what's the word? On purpose, on purpose or foreshadowing. But like when the mutants come along, a lot of that shit's gonna be going on. A lot of like, we're human, you're mutants and shit like that. So it's like,
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being used like that. Yeah, that scene being used. Yeah, for
the
that
main core is like, oh, they hate us because they ain't us. Pretty much.
Yeah, but that was a funny moment. I got a good chuckle out of that shit.
He's bad.
Yeah. What else happened? Gravik faced the Skrull Council, and these niggas are like the head of everything. Like got a motherfucker the head of NATO.
Yeah, one of the head of NATO. Like they're it's to show you that the Skrulls are on the planet and in key positions in government all across the world, like in all different factors. So like you don't know where the Skrulls are, and there's a million of them now, so they could be anywhere.
Yeah,
they're all like in parts of the government.
I thought the fucking Hydra was bad. Like these niggas is worse.
Hell Skrull.
Yeah. So they basically recruited Gravik as the general, right? The general of the Skrulls.
Yeah, because it was a council.
Yeah, council meeting.
They led by democracy, but then it's like, hey, we're about to go to war, so we just need one person that controls everything, that makes all the decisions. We just follow, and they nominate Gravik as that.
Yeah. Rhodey got a little political when they were trying to blame America for what happened, but some other shit's going on. And he was like, allegedly Nick Fury was there. Like, you don't have any pictures, nothing like that. Allegedly he was there. Yeah. So they don't have any footage yet that we seen. So Rhodey trying to give Nick Fury some bail. So it was a Skrull that got caught, and this chick Sonya went to the Russians to see him. Chipped off his motherfucking finger. This is like getting mad violent. Like fucking chipped off his finger. Chip. Turned into a Skrull finger. It's like
I saves us a lot of time.
Yeah. Shot him up with some shit, some super juice or some shit like that. He's like,
I saw some people talking about that on the video. Maybe it's like a variant or a version of the extremist stuff.
Oh,
because it heats you up.
Yeah,
and that shows up, and that also shows up later on in an episode.
Yeah,
so maybe it's like, oh, we've had time to experiment, so it doesn't give you like the healing property stuff, or like it was supposed to do, but it might just heat you up and like little boy type shit.
Yeah, like he was like, she was about to stick it in his arm, but she stuck it in his ass. Like he's like, so like the dude ended up giving her information, and Gravik invaded the compound and saved him. And asked him, he said, "Did you tell him anything?" He's like, "No." Like, all right.
He's like, all right, cool. And then they yelled at that nigga.
Yeah, had to put yellow down.
Yeah, they put it down.
Yeah,
I was like,
yo, this shit is like kind of like I'm fucking with it because it's mad violent. They didn't show the shot, but they showed it like blurry in the background in a dark forest. Yeah, they fucking Goodfellas, this nigga. Like,
murder that nigga.
You think I'm an asshole? so there was another part that was interesting. Gia, she playing her 00 agent shit. Like she's following one of the people Gravik came back when he was like pronounced as the general, whispered in somebody's ear. Gia started to follow him. Come to find out, they're about to make some super scrolls, and they got some DNA. They got some DNA from what group? Obsidian.
Obsidian.
The Extremis, right?
Extremis and Frost Beast.
Yeah. I kind of like how they did it though, because you know, of course, like the heat that's supposed to be Human Torch, but they don't have Fantastic Four yet. So the group with the long arm and shit like that, it's supposed to be Mr. Fantastic, but you can't have him, so you gotta they supplement.
Cole is a replacement for the Thing. The only thing they don't really have a replacement is Miss the Invisible Woman or whatever.
Yeah.
Sue.
Yeah.
I mean, ice ain't really quite that, but I guess they make ice bubbles or some shit like that. You can. You know, it's not quite what it is, but it.
Yeah. I mean, they work with what they got. I'm fucking with it so far.
Yeah. Because in the comic books, the first Super Scroll, because when the scrolls replicate a body, they can only look at copy them what they look like physically, but they cannot replicate like if a person has powers or not. That's like not a natural thing for them to do. Like. So it was something where they had to like experiment, and I think it was like part of like a religious ceremony type of thing. And the first Super Scroll that was made, I think, what powers were mixed off of the Fantastic Four, but we don't have the Fantastic Four, so we can't really use their exact power set. So they're kind of using what they have, which is still cool.
Yeah. Rhodey basically kicked Nick Fury out. That was a funny conversation. Yeah, he fired his ass. He was like, you know, people like me. Like us, we black.
Yeah, but they was getting me. Come on.
Yeah, like, my brother out.
It's funny because I think this is the first scene they ever had together.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then he was like, you're out. And then he was like, I'm Nick Fury. I'm never out. I'm always in. Like some shit like that. Yeah. But come to find out, this nigga's wife is a goddamn scroll. Nick Fury's wife is a goddamn scroll. He got what is it? Cosmic fever? That's what you call it?
You think he knows?
I don't know. Like I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, she changed before he got there.
Yeah. But I think she's the same woman that he was talking to in the very beginning of the episode. I have to go the one that introduced him to Gravik.
Oh yeah.
I think it's her.
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch because she was wearing a ring on her hand.
Yeah.
In the opening scenes, and I gotta look at the ring that he puts on if it's the same ring, like if she gave him the ring where they have the same type of ring or whatnot. I gotta look at it again to see if they match up. But I think he knows though. I think we'll find out. Obviously, next episode maybe.
Yeah.
I think he knows.
Yeah.
He works closely with the scrolls. I think he just is like, hey, you cool.
Yeah.
You can
open up. Oh, sorry. What? Niggas get curious like shit.
Can scrolls have human babies?
I don't know.
Do they have like, because you traded your DNA, like, can they
interspecies baby? I'm pretty sure.
Can scrolls have babies
before?
Human babies?
Can they have Earth babies? Because did they make the womb? Is the womb not polluted?
I knew it. Yo, question.
Yeah.
Do y'all think by the end of this series they introduced the Super Scroll?
No, these are the Super Scrolls, right?
Yeah. They showed Gravik in one of the trailers like stretching his arm out like Groot. They're gonna introduce a version of the Super. It's not gonna be the one
the Fantastic Four Super Scroll.
No, it's not gonna be like that.
that's gonna be a version of it, and which might leave the door open to maybe eventually get that actual Super Scroll, maybe later on in Fantastic Four stuff. But yeah, they're gonna have their version of it or a version of Super Scrolls in this for sure.
Yeah, it's like how
Fury on his Captain Kirk flow. Hey, fuck it.
Yeah. Okay,
With all this shit going on, I try some fucking whatchamacall?
Some green box.
Why not?
All right, so this is what's going on. The scrolls are reproductively compatible with many species and their gender fluctuates. Oh, fluctuates. Yeah. Due to their shape shifting. So what they would have to do, they would have to turn into a human to have women organs and then do it that way. That sounds familiar.
Birthed a baby.
That sounds familiar. I can't think of it. I know it was a show that was doing that, but I can't think of it right now.
She got any box in the world.
Yeah, fat one, skinny one.
Miranda, the Halle Berry. I can get you that Jennifer Lopez. What you want? What you need?
Yeah.
It was wild.
I'm sorry. Now that is crazy. What the Kegels like?
Hey yo.
Hey, don't they got super strength?
Oh yeah.
You got the super grip.
Yeah.
Shit, what that gripper talk about?
Like a gorilla grip. What kind of animals they got? Gorilla grip. What they got on the scroll hole? What they got? The Mark X grip. Like what they got?
Oh,
from Mark grip.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm fucking with this episode though.
Yeah, so far the show's actually been pretty good.
Yeah,
we'll see. Sometimes felt the same with Marvel, and it kind of fell apart towards the end.
Yeah,
it started off good. Same thing with Moon Knight. It started off good for me. And towards the end. So I'm not gonna go too far ahead and praise it too much because it could fall apart at the end. Hopefully it doesn't. But we'll see.
So you have your doubts.
Just based off of their track record. Sometimes they have shows that start off really good, like I'm super high on, and then by the time we get to the end, I'm like, it wasn't the worst thing I've seen, but it's definitely started off in my head way better.
Nose dove.
Yeah. It didn't like crash into the ground, but it definitely went.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Didn't make full point contact to the ground, but it be
right.
Was looking at it.
Somebody might be dead. I don't know.